to put one hand in a circle, and the other hand in a circle with your fingers, like you were going to put them over your two eyes, like an owl. But this time I want you to put them both together like a telescope. And I want you to look through your telescope, and I want you to find one thing in the room. It could be anything. It could be a picture, it could be a stuffed animal, it could be a book, it could be anything in the room. It could be a flag. Picture one thing. Just find one thing. Okay? And I want you to look at that one thing, and I want you to think, what does this make me think of? Does it remind you about something? Keep looking at your one thing with your telescope. Does it remind you of something? Does it make you think about how something smells or tastes or looks? Picture your one thing. Don't say anything. Just use your telescope. Think about that thing, and then I want you to think about what it reminds you of or what it makes you think of. Something that happened to you, or maybe it makes you think of something you saw once or a book you read. Okay, now I want to put your telescope down, and we're going to go around the room, and we're going to share what you did. So, for instance, for me, I was looking at the red hot air balloon, and inside of it is a hummingbird. And it made me think about my garden in my backyard and how I plant flowers, and I put food out for the hummingbirds so that I can see the hummingbirds. So that's what it made me think of. So we're going to go around the room, and we're going to share what it is that you looked at and what it reminded you. All right, so now that we visualized everything in our heads and we told about what our telescope saw, we know that we all see things differently. Some of us saw an elephant, some of us thought of how big an elephant was, and some of us thought about the zoo. Some of us saw a red hot air balloon, one of us thought about the hummingbird in it, and one of us thought about hot air balloon rides. So now we're going to talk about the vocabulary for a story, and then I'm going to read the story. You are not going to you're just going to listen to the story, and then you're going to draw a picture of what you saw. So first, let's go over our vocabulary. Planned. Say the word. Planned. Planned means that if you planned, you decided ahead of time how you would do something. We carefully planned for the big event. You planned your birthday party. Next word, perfect. Say it. Perfect. When something is perfect, it is the best it can be. The photographer said it was a perfect day to take pictures. I use a ruler to make a perfect straight line. Next word, hamper. Say the word. Hamper. A hamper is something you throw your clothes in. Raise your hand if you have a hamper at home. Okay? A hamper. I put my dirty sweatshirt in the clothes hamper. Uh-oh, look at this picture. Can you see that? Disaster. The dog created a disaster. Look what the dog did. It tore up the couch. My dad was not happy about the disaster my dog made in our living room.
The dog is so sad.
Scowl. Scowl. You make a scowl whenever you're mad. Everyone do a scowl.
I'm already on a scowl.
When Anna is upset, she makes a scowl. Ooh. Mood. Say the word. Mood. Mood is how you feel. You might be in a bad mood. You might be in a good mood. You might be in a happy mood. You might be in a sad mood. In this picture, everyone is in a different mood.
Frustrated.
Queasy. Say the word.
Queasy.
If you are queasy, your stomach hurts and you feel sick. Sylvia felt queasy after she finished eating breakfast. Or bad smells can make you feel queasy. Makes your tummy hurt. Okay, fiddled. Fiddled. Say the word.
Fiddle.
Okay, this girl she's looking, you can see she's fiddled with her hair. So let's fiddle with her hair. Twist your hair. That's called fiddling or fiddled. You fiddled with your hair. Elena fiddled with her hair. She waited for her friend. Or I see a lot of you do this and you fiddled with your pencil when you're sitting at your desk. So you're playing with your pencil. I fiddled with this pencil while I was speaking. talking to you. Okay, so those are our vocabulary words for this week. We'll go over them again tomorrow. So now we're going to go back to creating mental images. Let's look at this. It says when you create mental images, you make pictures in your mind to help you remember what you read. So we make those images in our head for us to help understand the story or comprehend the story. So we look at the pictures to help us understand, and we think about how it sounds. How would a soccer game sound? What would you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of cheering. Well, would there be any taste? Maybe you taste a hot dog you're eating, you know? Smells, maybe you smell the grass or the sweat of the soccer players. Okay?
The people are eating in the silence.
That's right. So here's a girl reading the book, and here's a picture she's reading about a soccer game, and it's sunny, and there's a ball. So this was a picture in her head that she made when she was reading those words in her book. So like I said, I'm going to read. This is our story. This is the only part I'm going to show you. Picture Day Perfection. Okay, that's our story this week. So, I want you to put your head down. And I don't want you to fall asleep, though. I want you to listen to the story. You're not going to be following along in your books because you're going to put your own pictures in your head. Then I'm going to have you draw any picture you want of the story. I'd planned for months. This was going to be the year of the perfect school picture. But some days, not everything goes according to plan. The day started with the worst case of bedhead ever. Okay, the front view, the back view, the side view, the look on my brother's face when he saw my hair. His hair's going all sideways. It's all got bedhead, sticking straight up. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Can't get the page to turn. Okay. Then it took me quite some time to unearth my favorite shirt. I finally found it at the very bottom of the hamper. You might call it stained. You might call it wrinkled. You might even call it smelly. You wouldn't be wrong. Breakfast was Picture Day pancakes, a family tradition. This year's festivities involved a small syrup disaster. He spilled the syrup. More accurately described as a large syrup disaster. It's all over his face. And it occurred exactly as the bus pulled up. I had a feeling we'd be getting a new family tradition. On the bus, I got into a small bit of trouble. Make that a large bit of trouble. The bus driver made me sit in the seat right behind him for the rest of the ride. By the time I got into school, my picture day face was fixed in a scowl. Remember, scowl is a sad face. We just learned that. In class, Mrs. Smith collected our photo order forms. Do you think my mom checked emerald green for my photo background, or peacock blue, or pizzazzy purple? Nope. Once again, all the backgrounds in the world, Mom checked snoring, boring, traditional gray. No one gets gray, except for me. And it just so happens to be the only color in the world that makes my favorite shirt disappear. All but the stains and the wrinkles. So he got stains on his shirt was already dirty, he spilled syrup on himself, and he had bedhead. That's how he looked for his picture. After that, the teacher had us all stand and practice our picture day smiles. I thought we needed a little something to get us in the picture day mood. Oops, got myself in trouble again. So think about what he would do to get in trouble when they were practicing their smiles. Luckily, I got to rejoin the class in time for art. Art involved a lot of paint, or at least it did for me. Uh-oh, now he's got paint on his shirt. Finally, it was just time to line up for our photos. Ned, just in front of me, got the last complimentary plastic comb. I watched as classmate after classmate smiled for the camera. I got queasy. Remember stomach hurts? Listening to everyone say, cheese! I can't stand cheese. The mere thought of it turns me green, deeply green, and just as my face reached its most awful pea green shade, it was my turn. I stepped forward. I sat down on the stool. It was hard as a rock and cold as an iceberg. Just a sec, said the photographer as he fiddled with the camera knobs. As I sat and waited, everything that had happened rushed through my mind. the monstrous messes, the muddles and the mix-ups, the whole day, from the moment I rolled out of bed, had gone perfectly. Even better than planned. This year, I was finally going to have the perfect school picture. He wanted to look like a mess. And that's when I heard a click, and in a flash, all my hard work, my perfectly tangled hair, my perfectly rumpled shirt, my perfectly sticky face, my perfectly composed scowl, that perfect boring background, those perfect paint splatters, and that perfect sickly pallor, wasted, useless, ruined, in a moment of weakness, by an unexpected smile. He smiled on this picture. Mom says it's my best picture ever. He wasn't wanting to have a good picture, was he?
No.
Okay, but just wait till she sees next year's picture. So we thought he was having a bad day, but he wanted it to go bad. So did you picture him in your head? All the things and how he looked? Okay, I want you to draw a picture in the next 5 minutes with your pencil to show me what you think,